First thing up, abstract approval. I'm assuming they all got signed. Okay, so I'll move it.
Second.
Yes.
Yes.
Or you're good.
Yes.
Yes. All right, no presentations. There's nothing new in highway.
County.
The only thing I know he's gonna probably start talking to Andy Zepp about helping him with one of the parking lots at the Roy Park Preserve, like it's this lower parking. lot.
No good.
He doesn't think I don't think we need a resolution for it. I think we already had talked about it a few months ago anyway, and he's just gonna work directly with the land trust people.
Expand it or grade it or
They're paying for the, like, I guess fencing and some other stuff and bringing the materials in, and they just needed some help moving things around. So it's not. So I was like, you gotta talk with Rick about when that gets done, so. I don't think there's anything else. I wasn't, Mike might walk in, but I wasn't expecting him tonight. So we just need to do the first resolution. So the village would be officially lead agency for the annexation, and then
I don't think that last time we passed a resolution of like agreeing to it. I looked at our file from 2024 when we went through this, and the next thing that we did was adopt a resolution, findings, resolutions in order to agree to it.
but they still have to adopt it. They have to.
They did adopt a lead agency. And they notified us by sending us a copy of the resolution.
Yeah, but they said then this meeting, we have to adopt this for seeker.
It's a pretty basic concurrence with them taking lead. We've done it more informally. This is a very formal step this time.
Yeah, but this is what, we were getting all these.
Can you make it a little big?
All right. So anyhow, I would just move that we consent to the village acting as lead agency for the annexation of the parcel 38.-1-30.11.
second them.
Right, a lot different.
Yes, I know. It's been a rough week. I'm feeling better.
Yes.
Leo says yes.
Yes.
Person Bob.
Yes.
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 Yes. Right, and then, the village is gonna pass the rest of their stuff at the next meeting.
Well, we have to also have.
Yeah, which
So
our meeting,
someone needs to check in.
yeah, which we could do the day after they pass. Cause they're gonna do it at their meeting next Wednesday. So. Alright. Okay. Alright, next up, a resolution to purchase more materials for Dryden Fiber. It's from a new supplier, Triple Play Telecom. And it's Plume, I guess Plume Super Pods, but from a different supplier.
Amanda can speak to this, or I can.
Yeah, Dave, you can go ahead.
So we currently pay about $95 per plume device, buying them through Graybar, our provider. This organization reached out to us from North Carolina, South Carolina. They basically have too many. They didn't need them all. And they reached out, and Tracy Monell from Gleeman talked to them and was able to get them to $55 per unit, which is almost half the price. So we need them. They're not refurbished. They just were never used by that provider. So it's an opportunity for us to pick them up. It's only 310, so it's not like we're stuck with them for a long time.
Yep,
That's awesome.
cool.
Sounds like a win.
Yep, so I'll move that.
Second,
Marvin,
yes.
yes. Yes.
Yes.
Yes,
Thank you.
and then next one. There's this partnership with the INHS. Dave, I guess you just go right into that.
Sure. I emailed the board. I think I emailed the clerk on Monday about this. There's a development that is being worked on in the hamlet of Varna. It's at the intersection of Fries Road and Route 366 in that, I guess, the north corner of that intersection. Ray has been really involved with it. We're working with INHS, bringing them through all the requirements for the Department of Planning. They reached out a few weeks ago, and I was able to meet with them on Monday. They are looking for a bulk rate because it has some state funding, all state-funded programs that are implemented by INHS. I don't know if they require or request that they get bulk purchasing on internet services. They already have one offer from Spectrum, and because we're the local provider, they would like us to also propose. I don't know if it's one or the other, or if it could be both. I've been told what the rate is from Spectrum, and I think we can meet that rate, and I put that into the PDF I sent you. The construction starts this summer, like August. They want to make sure that they have all the places within the buildings, the utility rooms, ready for us if we were selected. So they want to make a decision soon, which means they want to hear a proposal from us by like mid to late next week.
Have you seen the proposal from Spectrum? Is it for real? It's not like one of those things where, hey, we'll give it to you for the first 3 years and then it's gonna skyrocket up.
So that was a good question. I think you asked by email. I asked INHS. INHS is it's a nonprofit like Trident Fiber is, so they're really open. It's not a municipal project, but we are, so they're being really open with what they can share. I don't have a copy of the Spectrum agreement, but what they did say was that it's a 5-year agreement with Spectrum with a 3% increase after 5 years.
One quick question is, are they asking only for the rental units? Cause I believe they're also building some small houses that will get sold.
Yeah, they said, don't worry about those. On the map, right along Route 366, there's 6 units. They're like, don't worry about those. I think the idea is, as Spring said, if those are sold, those people can buy directly from us. We'll have fiber right in front of their houses on the poles. And those people would pay the full rate. It's because these 53 units are rental units. INHS has a greater control about what goes in there for utilities as well as bulk pricing.
Yep.
So the question that I had was, if we offer this to them, it's $20 per unit per month, and we would bring them on in terms of the entire building. So the 8-unit building, the other 8-unit building, or the 37-unit building. They're not going to open all 3 of the buildings on the same time. So the day that the building opens for all 8 or all 37 units, that's the day we start billing them. Whether they have customers using the service or they have tenants living in there, They start paying us from the day the building is open for the customer base.
Oh.
So it's kind of like guaranteed income for us. Uh, are going to give them our full tier, the 400 megabyte silver tier.
Also less administrative work than trying to bill all those different individual apartments,
Yep.
so.
Does anyone know the income qualifications to be part of that development?
I can find that out.
Because my thinking is, many of those are going to qualify for the state Connect All, or not, it's not Connect All, so,
The ABA.
sorry, couldn't hear you.
It's the ABA.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So my guess is many would qualify anyway for that, and we've already said we're gonna match that. So we might as well get in now.
Yeah.
Plus, I would imagine INHS will work with us on the
Yep.
access issue that right now we have to have multiple agreements from landlords, and we've got one
yeah.
willing.
Yeah, this proposal would cover granting us access to bringing in the fiber to each of the 3 buildings. We would go into the utility rooms. From there, we would have devices that then sent fiber out to each individual apartment. And in the apartment, there would be both it's not a modem, but the ONT, which basically converts the light into digital, and then a plume device. Amanda and I were talking earlier today about the actual functionality of this. It's not likely to be a high turnover series of apartments as people are moving through and increasing their own income, and they can move out. Currently, and this is a bigger challenge we're going to have as an organization in the future 5+ years out. We provide every customer with one ONT or ONU, that's the modem device, and everyone has the option to getting a plume device, the Wi-Fi device. Right now, around 80% of our customers take that plume Wi-Fi device. So they get that included for free when they buy from us, when they become a subscriber. There's nothing that says what happens when either of those pieces of hardware expire. Eventually, like all hardware, they do expire. 5 years, 7 years, 10 years. It should be pretty far out there, but eventually there's going to be upgrades to both the plume devices and the ONTs, those modem devices in the units, as well as across our entire platform. Every customer, we're going to hit some day in the future where we're going to start to have all of these devices that need to be replaced. Not because they break, but just because there's something better on the market. And we haven't budgeted how to, have the money on hand for that to replace those. It'll happen just through regular cash flow from monthly expenses, but they cost about $100 each for the ONT and the plume device. So, go ahead.
They have to use ours, or do some people buy their own?
They have to use our ONT, which is about $100. That's the modem, but they can use their own Wi-Fi device if they want. That also costs about $100. We just bought those 300 in the last resolution for $55. They can opt to do that, but right now only about 20% of customers opt not to use our free Wi-Fi device. So again, that's a future problem. The way that we think about that future problem in terms of the INHS is we're going to put 53 plume devices and 53 ONTs in these apartments. If they break or walk, or the person leaves and they just take it with them, we're going to replace that for the next tenant. My feeling is we should set some number, like we're going to set you up 53 units for like a 7-year term. We'll also give you another 10 units, 20% of the total for replacement. But if you go over that allotment, someone has to pay for these.
Yeah, and this isn't gonna just be an issue for this property. I mean, with
It's
the
an issue.
number of rental units in our community, this is gonna be a frequent flyer challenge.
Yeah, I mean,
Probably.
that's true. We believe, although I don't think it's even happened more than once or twice, that if a customer is a renter and the landlord has signed an agreement with us for access to their property, we have that relationship with the landlord, property owner. And the property owner will tell us, hey, a tenant is moving out. Can I keep the equipment in the unit until the next tenant moves in? We're like, yes, you can. They move in, they sign up, and the day they move in, we can turn them on. It doesn't cost us any money to do another install, and the equipment stays with the unit going forward.
Wouldn't it make sense to build that into the lease then? As one of the
Right.
things that tenants assign on to, that the Wi-Fi equipment remains. And if they take it with them, it comes out of their security deposit.
Right?
That's one solution. You could bring it to INHS. And say, like, we're only giving you 53. If you need more of any of them,
We're taking a haircut with this
Yeah.
program at INHS. I think it's a minimal ask to say, put this into the leases that
Right.
the Dryden Fiber equipment is being given for free. Make sure it stays, that wouldn't be the legal wording, but I'm
Well,
sure.
I asked them in an email earlier today what their policy is regarding Spectrum's modems. Because Spectrum already charges rent for modems. If you're a Spectrum customer, you're probably paying $10 a month for the rent of that modem. I don't know if that's rolled into this free to the tenants, and also the $20 a month bill that Spectrum is charging INHS per unit. So I'll see what the bar is set at for the Spectrum devices.
But you can bet that Spectrum has a term, like you have to be there for a year, and we don't have that.
Yep.
And it helps them recover their costs.
Well, it's a 5-year contract for them. It's a flat fee. We're a flat fee. You're going to get their INHS is going to give us money, whether there's any customers there or not, every month.
Yeah.
For all 53 units.
Okay.
So that part we will be compensated. I think the total is $12,700 a year.
Yeah.
But again, like how much of that do we want to give away? I expect 100% of the tenants will use our service if we're in there.
Yeah.
I also would expect, based on what we've seen in the past of our current customer base, 400 customers, I would estimate that probably 15% would upgrade to the next tier, and 5% would upgrade to the highest tier. So 80% stay, it's free, no additional cost. 15% would go to the platinum tier or to the gold tier, and 5% to platinum.
Mhm.
So the question that I had was, if that's the case, and on page 2 of the document I sent you, I went over some of the different tiers and how we could do the pricing. I can share my screen if you allow me to, if you want to look at that table together. I'll try to make this as big as I can, so you can see it. Is that visible?
Yeah.
All right, so our base rate is $45 for a customer, which is $540 per year. The wholesale is $0 for those tenants per year, or even per month. Our gold tier retail sells at $75 per month and $90 for the platinum, which is $900 and $1,080 per month or per year. There's no subsidy. So that's the amount, the first, third, and fourth line of what people are paying right now. So the question is, if INHS partners with us and a tenant wants the service, do we do the same $25 of the retail? Do we contribute that toward that $75 and charge them $50 a month? Or do we take the $20? Sorry, my dog's going crazy.
What just happened?
I don't know. Dave froze.
No,
Sorry about that. My dog just went crazy.
Okay.
She was barking in my ear. I don't think you could hear it. So the other options would be this option 1, where a $25 savings from retail to the customer remains. And we would continue to earn the initial $20 from the INHS as a base. The other option is Trident Fiber receives the first $20 from INHS as part of the base bulk agreement, and then we continue the $25 per unit discount for gold and platinum upgrades.
Keep it simple, whatever's the simplest way to do it.
Now, Amanda's there. Really, either of these options, either this option or the other option, is about the same amount of work for us.
Okay.
Because it's like we're gonna have to we're gonna have accounts for all these customers. We're gonna charge them $0 each month. But if they upgrade, we have to decide how much to charge them. It's in terms of the number of customers, 50 customers out of a total base of 2, 3, 4,000. It's a small enough number that setting this is not going to have a huge impact on the entire budget of the platform to either of these. It's a question of like, I don't know if I'd say fairness, but it's a question of, do we want to take someone they're coming and paying nothing. If they upgrade, do they upgrade to the full amount, $75, which means we're going to get paid the $75 from them, and we're also going to get $20 a month from INHS on top of that.
Does INHS care
They were like, you can do whatever you want
with the upper tiers?
with the upgrades. And we know that Spectrum is offering internet for $20. They're not offering phone, which is expensive through Spectrum. They're not offering television, which is expensive. So I imagine that people who get Spectrum for free in their units are going to upgrade for phone and TV, and Spectrum's going to make $100 per customer per month. So I don't think we should do this one, which is just charging them the existing rate, because we're basically double dipping. We're getting $20 a month from INHS, and then we're going to get $75 from them. So like the green option, I say, is off the table. We're not going to do that and upgrade them and get money. So the question is, do we? How far does this subsidizing go? And there could be other options. Could be more or less.
I think if people are willing to pay more, they're willing to pay more.
Yeah.
I mean, we want to provide the basic, but if they want to get something more elaborate, like everyone else in the town, they probably should pay closer.
Yep.
A higher end, because those are people who are capable of paying more.
And they wouldn't be able to go to Spectrum once we set up our equipment, right?
It's not clear either through INHS or the FCC if they can block Spectrum from having access to the building. So if Spectrum doesn't get the proposal, Spectrum could still go in and start charge full fare if they wanted to.
Yeah,
They could also come in without a contract and just go in and undercut if they want to do that too. This is just an opportunity for us to basically lock ourselves in for a 5-year partnership with INHS. At that minimum of $12,720 per year.
yeah. Are they going to be paying for the cost of the conduit and all that stuff going into the building?
Would we pay for it, or would they?
Or are they paying? Are we paying for that? Or they?
We would pay to bring the fiber from into their property all the way up, just like we would for any individual install. Now, another side case of this, I talked to Ray about this earlier today too. Our installation costs right now are about $1,000, $800 in parts and labor, so drop cables and Clarity Connect going on site, $200 for equipment for each Plume device and each ONU. With this, we're going to do all the installation up front. It'll be wired all the way up to the utility rooms, and then all the way out to each individual apartment. So we're gonna pay for all that investment, all the materials, before they sign anyone up. Which means as these 53 people come online and start paying up, we're gonna get paid. As these 53 people are using the service, we don't have that 20 months of monthly income needed to pay back each individual installation.
Well, right, but so we're gonna pay for the materials so you're saying Trident Fiber is gonna pay for the materials for the, the wiring through the building? Or,
To the utility rooms,
and then
which is what we would do.
to department, they're paying for that?
I believe that we're still in touch with their IT department to learn about how we're going to do that. We could bring it to the utility room and then have them use non-fiber to each of the individual units, or they could run fiber, so they could run CAT.
And just because the thing is like because I'm pretty sure that they can't keep you couldn't keep like say Spectrum out, right?
Right.
But the thing is, like, if Spectrum only has to go to the utility room, but we own the connection, like, we wanna make sure that they can't use our connection to the room if we pay for that. If INHS is paying for the connection to the room, then whoever gets in there can use it, because it would be a similar thing to what happened with the Baker Hill stuff, just done to us otherwise.
Yeah, I gotta imagine that INHS is going to put coax to every single unit.
Yeah, well, I don't know, I mean, I don't know why they would use coax.
for the cable.
They're gonna, they have to run at the same time they're running electrical.
Yeah, they want to do it all before they build. Yeah.
Like Newark, like Spectrum uses both coax and fiber because they're just whatever, but they can do it with just fiber. So I don't know. I'm just saying, like,
I can ask that. It's a good follow-up question for them. Basically, if we were going to go and do 53 installations to 53 homes, there would be substantial work to do 53 chips, bring in 53 drop cables, and go from the handholds or from the MSTs and the utility poles all the way down the street, across the yards, underground. All that expense is going to be upfront and taken care of. So we basically would break even on the installation costs much quicker. Because even if we're not even doing all that, because we're really bringing fiber to 3 buildings to 3 utility rooms.
For the INHS special option one, so for $50, does that mean the customer pays $50 and then we still get $20 from INHS? So we get $70 total?
Yes.
Oh, it's only like $5 difference then.
Yeah,
Right?
it's not a very big discount. The blue option 2 is we receive the first 20, so it's $75. We receive the first 20, and then we continue the $25 per unit discount to give us a total of 30 for the gold level.
But I'm really stuck on the $200 Lumen router thing.
The Wi-Fi device and the modem.
And I'm not saying it's something to solve now, but I'm thinking within the next 12 months. It'll be something to solve.
You mean the lost cause?
Yeah, I think it's gonna be interesting as people move out over the summer and new people come in. For our first real cycle of turnover
At this place or any rental?
across the town.
What happens to the old equipment?
If we see a lot of old equipment walk. Or the equipment's there, but the connection cables are gone. I think it's gonna be, we're gonna learn some things this summer.
Well, I guess that's a good question, David. What are we telling customers generally about the equipment? Is it their equipment? Is it is it Dryden Fibers equipment? But we're not making them sign anything saying they will.
Oh, we should.
So the key is if somebody moved out and not return the equipment, or we had to turn their service off, they didn't pay and are not responsive. That equipment is still sitting in that residence. But without having somebody go and ask for it, we have no way to get it back. So that is a challenge for I don't say correctly, but starting to be.
Yeah, I just think it'll be interesting to see when we start seeing real turnover of people moving out. How much they just unplug the stuff from the wall and throw it in their car without.
Yeah, I mean, That's definitely a possibility. And the way that the financing has worked is if a new customer comes online in that unit, we've already accounted for the first 20 months to pay for the $1,000 installation costs. Now we gain by having that tenant move in and already having all the installation done and having the equipment there.
Okay.
But if they weren't there, or if those pieces of equipment weren't there, we have to send clarity. They don't have to bring a new drop cable in, which costs money. They don't have to do any conduit digging or anything with the bucket trucks. It's like a pretty quick install to just come in with equipment. The payback period for that installation for that tenant is very low. It would be free if the equipment was there, but it would only be $200 for the equipment.
Okay.
Because
So
that person's coming on, they're signing a new $50 to $45 a month agreement, or they're not signing the agreement with us. We don't have any contracts, but they are becoming a customer of ours at $45 a month. The challenge is that in the INHS environment is they have there's no money for those pieces of equipment per se, because we're giving such a discount on the monthly rate.
When we get a new customer, do they sign any sort of agreement with us?
No customers sign an
No
agreement.
agreement.
We have no contracts.
we have to do something though, because we're giving them their own router address.
They're not getting their own IP. Only the,
What?
I thought everyone had an IP address.
Yeah.
You gotta,
Kind of
Static IP address.
right now, you don't get static IP.
Okay.
Yeah, you get a dynamic IP address. Yeah, this whole thing with everyone gets a free ONT in your house, everyone gets free Wi-Fi device number one, then they pay for a second one for $95, or a third one for $95. Those people are actually buying the Wi-Fi devices from us, the second or third or fourth one. But there's no warranty on how long that lasts. If it breaks, do we fix it? Does it last for 20 years or 100 years or 5 years? None of that. All that stuff was like here prior to February 1st of last year when I joined. So a lot of these things were like in motion, like, hey, we'll just do it this way. And
Yeah.
a lot of stuff is like, we don't have to worry about it right now. That equipment is great. It works fine. It's going to work fine for the next 3 or 4 or 5 years, maybe even longer. But there will be a point in time when it becomes an issue.
Yeah, there needs to be a.
And some responsibility, like equipment can fail or the customer could, drop a couch on it and smash it, is it up to us to replace it?
I think we would probably replace the ONT and a Plume device. If someone had 3 devices and they all broke at the same time,
Right.
we probably would say, we'll give you one, you have to buy the other 2 again since you broke them. If they spontaneously combusted, like, we don't have any policy for those things.
It might be something for the committee to talk about, because I mean, when say I have Dish Network, and if a snow falls off my roof and knocks over the dish and damages it, that's on me. If they put a dish on the side of my house and it falls off due to their installation, that's on them. And we should probably spell out something similar to protect ourselves, and just so there's not this
Yeah, I mean, this INHS proposal agreement will be the first contracted customer in the entire history of the project.
Right.
400 customers right now are paying us, 360 or so residential, and 30 businesses or so. None of them have contracts. Everything is month to month. And we provided them the installation at no cost, which has about a 20-month payback. We provide them in that installation cost the ONT and Plume device, which we are not charging them for. That's, again, part of the installation cost. And if they quit after a month, then we paid for that. We paid Clarity for the installation.
I mean, in all seriousness, it's probably a good thing to stick with for the first 2 to 3 years while we're bringing the business up to full. But once, 3, 4 years from now, when we're fully vetted, then it'll be time to really take a look at it. Right now, it's very much an incentive because you don't have to also pay for these additional pieces of equipment. And it helps, it supports the mission of getting service to everybody. But it may be a longer term thing to reevaluate after.
We know that our competitors at Point are charging installation fees. So us not paying installation fees is another reason why people might want to switch to us. Of course, that doesn't have anything to do with this INHS thing in particular.
Yeah, it's installation fees in 1 year, 2 year contracts. Right,
If nothing else, I would get some very nice heavy duty vinyl stickers. To put on the equipment that says this equipment needs to remain in the apartment. If and when you ever move out. Nice bold letters.
Well,
and
You'd
a
be
tracking device.
Yeah, they were.
No, it's not worth the track notice, but
Well,
I think people who take stuff thinking they have to take everything out. So I think putting some stickers on there is a
Good idea.
90 cent.
it says it's
way
a
to-
property of Dryden Fiber.
Yeah,
Yeah.
property of,
Do
yeah.
not remove from apartment.
Dave will track you down.
There's things on the sheets that say.
Took you out.
Don't make Dave angry.
You should have the law to take the sticker off. Off your.
Yeah, we,
Whatever it says on our mattresses,
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
we want that.
All right, so do I have a sense of the board regarding option 1 or option 2?
Yes. The salmon one, right?
no, that's option 1.
Yeah, option 1 is the salmon one, and option 2 is the blue one.
Oh.
So this would be the monthly cost.
Yeah,
$50 for gold. Currently, they would pay $75 if they were buying it retail. They buy it $50 here or $30 here.
Cause white is is there anyway, so
Yeah.
we wanna go with salmon, is that the plan?
yeah,
Which one?
Like the
the
fish?
pink one,
Option 1.
option 1. I like it.
Yep.
All right, so they're going to get it. They would get our silver tier for free. And if they decide to upgrade to gold, instead of paying $75, we're only going to charge them $50. That sounds right. Yeah. Instead of, if they did want to go up to a platinum level 1 gig, which is $90 retail, we'd offer that to them for $65.
Would it simplify it just to make it, just to take that $20? Since INHS, right? So it'd be 55 and 70. Would that simplify it for billing purposes or it doesn't matter?
It doesn't actually matter.
Okay.
Matters there, but having all these little individual type of products is its own level of complexity. Making the dollar amount of those products doesn't really make a difference.
All right.
So this is, we'll put this into the proposal too, which is, this would be a $25 discount. And same thing with this one. Okay. Thank you. Any other questions about this project in particular?
I don't think so. I mean, what's INHS's decision-making process? Are they just waiting for us to give them something and they'll accept it, or do they have to have some sort of vote?
I'm sure there's someone has to review all the options and make a decision.
We don't know with us. Is that correct?
What's that?
We don't know for sure whether they're going to work with us.
Is Ray still there?
Yeah,
Yeah, Ray's still there.
Right.
Ray has a sense of the project much greater. He's been working with them for, I don't know, a year on this, so he might have a better sense.
I think as long as we're competitive, and we should make sure our proposal is really apples to apples with Spectrum.
Okay.
And I think that's rather than
Today,
Good.
we got apples, right?
Yeah.
They've got apples, we got apples.
Yeah, we have PCs too.
Wait,
I can go further.
Yeah.
Yes. Why?
How do you like them apples?
Have apples.
Too easy.
Okay,
Low hanging.
I'll have my report for April next Thursday evening.
Like,
I think we've hit the core of this joke.
Oh, yeah. Will just be done?
please, rescue us.
So you want us to vote on one?
I thought we already did.
No,
Or-
I don't know if, I mean, this is just a sense of the board for the proposal. I think when we actually have the proposal to them and they start to negotiate the actual terms, then we'll have a board vote to sign it, to authorize the supervisor to sign it.
Great.
Thank you.
Cool. Thanks. Alright. Oh, hi, Mike.
Mike,
Hello.
So we're not getting the Dryden Fiber report tonight?
No.
No,
What's
that's
that?
normally next week. Right.
This week. I didn't bring any fruit.
No, not even. Oh, you brought yourself, that's good.
Yeah, well, I apologize for not being available that last month.
Well, good, yeah, pretty good reason, so.
Just a couple of things. We did get the update on the cannabis tax report at Budget Committee this morning. And for the period December 24 through February 25, the town of Dryden received $9,636.48. City of Ithaca received $17,760.57. And Tompkins County received $9,132.39. So they aren't big dollars, but
no,
no, this is December 24 through February of 25, so it's 3 months.
3 months. Even still, that's more than I was expecting.
It'll be double next year.
cannabis tax,
Yeah,
just making sure I heard that right.
yeah.
That's exactly right. It's for the marijuana sales.
Yeah. So this could be 30,000 every 3 months.
There are a lot of
Wow.
I think illegal sales going on.
Here we.
This is coming from the licensed proper sellers of the product.
Still pretty good.
That's super. Right?
Every 2 months, 96.
No, he said 3 month period, we got $9,000. You know, let's assume it goes up to 10,000 every 3 months, so
Yeah. To like 40 grand a year.
40 grand, I'm sorry.
And that's with only having the one. When the second one opens, it'll go up.
It won't double though, I don't think. People are just gonna. It'll be interesting.
Our county administrator, of course, Quincy, reported hearing conversations from New York State Association of Counties. They are very, very worried about where we're going to end up financially at the county level, and I assume that would be for the other municipalities as well. We're particularly worried about what's going to happen if the feds do deep cuts in Medicaid, because as you know, not Tompkins, but all the counties in New York are required to pay for Medicaid service, which no other state requires. It's just New York.
Mhm.
So it would hit us very hard. Even though we've been told for months that they're not going to cut Medicaid, guess what? We'll see.
Yeah.
The Association of Counties is also telling us be very, very careful about spending and try to maintain a healthy fund balance to protect yourselves. And I assume that would go, I'm guessing probably the Association of Towns would be telling you the same thing. And it's pretty important that we be very, very careful this year in our budgeting and spending.
They have more specifics as if it was specific to purchasing certain types of things or just overall they're concerned about budget? Is it like a sweeping
I
statement?
didn't learn specifics like that. We just heard him talking about the
Yeah.
general spending.
Yeah.
Heard today that Columbia University is going to lay off 200 people. And we know that Cornell has has a restriction on hiring at this point. And we also know that when Cornell catches cold, or Cornell like sneezes, we catch cold, is the way, I guess, the phrase works. Our economy in Tompkins County is greatly tied to the university employment. And when they've had to do layoffs in the past, we've felt it very, very heavily. We have received notice that our highway director, Jeff Smith, is going to be retiring. So we're going to be looking for replacement of that position. We're in interviews for a new director of finance. Lois Garrett is retiring out. Fernando de Aragon, who is the director of the MPO ITCTC, is retiring, and there's a committee looking to interview people who have applied for that position in the future.
Be hard to fill.
I'm sorry?
It will be hard to fill his shoes.
Yes, it's a very, very difficult position. We haven't received a whole lot of applications so far. We still proceed with looking at the possibility of building a shelter. We're also talking about the Center of Government building. That's moving along. We are getting fairly good words out of SHPO, saying that we're probably going to be able to remove the buildings that we want to do to put the Center of Government at the corner of Tioga and Buffalo Streets.
But they were gonna have a problem with removing the buildings,
Oh, yeah.
the old off, like,
Oh, yeah. They are considered.
are you kidding me?
They are considered to be contributing to the historic district. And so we have basically had
I'd wait
to,
for a trip to them to go see some Roman ruins so they can see what historic stuff actually look like. Instead of this garbage that they keep saying is.
I couldn't agree with you more, but unfortunately, what we worry about and why we're having to jump through the hoop, much as you folks have, is because the possibility of grant funding in the future could be held up or eliminated if we haven't jumped through that hoop and had the rubber stamp from the State Office of Historic Preservation.
So I guess anything old is historic now, huh?
Well, if you stand on the corner where your office was, you may find yourself being declared that. You never know.
It's in historic.
I am historic. I'm old, so there you go. Therefore, I am old, therefore historic.
So I'm ancient and antique.
Yeah.
Don't have a whole lot of other things, but glad to answer any questions about things we've been working on at the county.
What is the deadline for new programming to be added to the county budget? If the county was gonna do something new and different, I just have a general question, and it needed to be included in the 26 budget. What is,
I wouldn't let grass grow under my feet. I'd do it now. We started our budget process with a retreat on the 29th of April, which is very often what we do. But if there's something, a programming or other thing like that, you want to have the county consider, or there are groups that want to have the county consider, then they better get the word into the county. I would say certainly in June.
okay, thanks.
Oh, by the way, there was one thing today, unless you didn't, in case you didn't see it, there was a court decision on the issue of the even year elections. There was, as you recall, that state law calling for town and county elections to be held in even years was challenged by Onondaga and some other counties that have charters. Saying that the state shouldn't be able to change their elections because they're charter counties. And a Supreme Court judge found in favor of that argument. It's gone to the appellate division of the Supreme Court, I think in Albany. And it was overturned. And they said that yes, the state does have a right to, and it is constitutional for the state to make that decision. The county's charters have to do with the actual offices and other things like that, but the state still retains its authority over elections in general. The Onondaga and the other counties can now appeal to the Court of Appeals if they want to. But as of right now, the election for county offices this fall in Tompkins County will be for a 3-year term. And after that, they will revert to a 4-year term. Can't tell you exactly what's going on with the towns, but the law is back in place.
It's a 3-year,
Okay,
One
for you.
more, yeah,
Oh,
one more year.
they added a year, is that how
Well,
long?
because it shaves a year off, so.
Shaves a year. Instead of the 4-year, you have a 3-year term, same as the county now. But I don't know if there's anybody in town government has any more familiarity with the number of elections than our supervisor has. It's run more than anybody I can remember.
Yeah. It's been a long and windy road.
you love the
You
attention.
wanna do the music?
I don't. Wait, what? I didn't hear that. Back my marriage years on.
Okay.
But the counter argument against the even year is that they think that local elections will get lost in the fray of the larger elections like presidential or gubernatorial or whatever. The pro argument is that a lot more people vote in even years than vote in the odd years.
Yeah,
And so as a good thing for voter participation, even years are much better.
Right. That's good for that.
That's why they did it.
Okay, anything else? Thank you folks for your time.
yeah, thanks for coming.
Thank you, Mike.
Mark, did you have, I guess, anything? Yeah, sure.
It's for the month of April, we had 39 calls, average people was 6.6. Out the door time was 3 minutes, 19 seconds. On scene was 9 minutes, 13. So for year to date, we have 166 calls. Yeah, that's your agenda.
Yeah.
Did you have any success with Recruit NY?
We had, of course,
Thank you.
fabulous New York State weather.
Yes.
Go in our paper. We did have a lot of public interactions.
Okay.
A lot of kids bouncing around the inflatable houses. So we're hoping that some of that will turn into something. Worst case, public relations. Not like that.
Sure.
So,
Okay.
but there was steady flow of people. There was probably 15, 20 kids there at all times.
That's good.
From start to finish, and the parents and we're engaging with them as.
Okay.
You probably,
Your leads might. Um,
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
at least enter the building. And I told Austin, he better work on this.
Good.
so Christina had the great idea that we reach out to Park Outdoor about advertising. I don't know if you noticed that. It's nice to know that they cooperated on that, so.
Quickly.
You know, it's something we can do again if you have a recruitment drive. We could reach out to Park Outdoor and,
Did we put them on our digital list?
yeah,
Yeah.
it looks great. I don't know if
Yeah.
you got to see it, but I saw it driving by. I was like,
I have a video of it. I'll send it to you.
Okay.
yeah,
Do they have one in Hinshaw?
That's it.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's right by, in front of 84 lumber. Yeah.
I saw they were getting ready to the next.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we had asked them when they were seeking
Things
the,
on there.
the permit, you know, would they occasionally run a PSA for us? And they said, yeah, and then sure enough, they did, so. It's kind
Yeah.
of cool.
Yeah, it was the LED display right off the FASNY website. So it's really nice.
Anything else?
No,
Thank you.
You guys are moving right now.
yeah, it's got two more things.
Enjoy your next.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
All right, and then we have the, it's a dog enumeration agreement. For Tracy Barton, who's gonna be helping Retta with the dog enumeration, she'll just be paid separately. So I just need permission to sign this agreement for the board.
I'll move that.
I'll second that.
Yes.
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 Yes. Okay, and then the last thing, I know that, I think it came either right before or right after the last board meeting, when the one I wasn't here, but Marie McCray sent us a resolution that Lansing had passed.
Mhm.
That's
You want
just
to cut
something-
that here?
I mean, it's just something you guys wanna,
I thought we did
I-
it already.
I don't know, did you guys do that or?
Did it? No. we-
No.
No,
We decided not
she
to.
didn't send it until after our meeting.
Yeah.
I
Email.
think it happened, I think I might have come right before, but.
No, I sent you an email.
I know you sent me an email, I just think I think you might be wrong about it, 'cause I remember responding to her, it doesn't matter. It didn't
The
get
date
picked up
doesn't
at the
matter.
meeting. I don't remember the date it came in.
It was like the
but-
day after our meeting.
It's the day after our meeting.
The day
Oh.
after. We had talked about something similar at the meeting, but we decided not to go forward with that. Yeah.
Sounds like you have good memories. Okay, so 6 p.m.
Yeah, I mean, if you're gonna wanna do something like that, then we would need to, I mean, cause it's not. There's parts of what Lansing did that. Man, it's a couple weeks ago news, even though it's still happening, but. There's other stuff, I think, if we're gonna just do something like that,
Is doing it too.
huh?
There's,
Yeah.
is doing it. too.
Yeah, I think this is a political discussion that I'd rather not have right here. Because there are things that, you know, involve politics. For me.
That's what,
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so focused on the flood damage prevention thing.
the what thing, those are next week.
I thought that's what you're talking about.
No, I'm talking about the. Maria McCray sent, like Lansing, Lansing passed a resolution about like, yeah, anyway, I forwarded it to everybody. But I wasn't around, so. I don't know if any of you looked at it. I mean, like I said, I think if we were gonna do anything like this, I'd wanna. Amend, like change some of it. But try to focus it more on. Something, I know. Some things that. Affect the town more. Which, yeah, might involve some politics, I guess, but that's what we're here for.
No, it's not what we're here for.
That's how you get elected is politics, so.
I know, but that's something to do outside of this room and I'm.
I don't think it's critical to have the federal government actually follow the law. That would be nice, especially when it comes to things like not honoring contracts or, you know, like when they're talking about dissolving FEMA, which affects fire departments. I mean, that's literally coming up now.
Okay, you think we need to educate Anna or Leah or Josh Riley on this?
I think maybe Josh could use something, my honest opinion about it. Yeah,
Well, have that conversation with them.
Cause I'm not hearing anything from them about it, and I think having something from some towns that are affected by it might actually make him sit up and take notice, cause he can go ahead and talk to Robin all he wants across the lake, but he's not even, you know,
Then why
that's
not
nice.
with something that's geared towards Josh Riley, and you can send him a message. But
Man, I'm
I
not,
just think Anna and Leah do not need to be coached on us on this particular issue.
I think they do need some coach, the state needs some coaching on some things, especially when it comes to like backing up Cornell. Especially like funding research programs and things like, you know, graduate students, and they're gonna ripple through the entire county economy. And I've already been talking to people at Cornell about this, but they just seem to, you know, they're scientists, they don't get it. And the
And
state,
they're different ones than I am. I think Cornell's very aware of the threats to their funding,
I know they're aware, but they don't.
and they're communicating it to their staff, their government relations people.
They will be doing a public forum on Monday.
Yeah, but the funding stuff I'm talking about is something that never gets brought up.
Well, no, that's what they're talking about on
That's all
Monday.
they talk about.
Okay, I've only been dealing with this since last time we had the same admin there. And talking to the same people about how, you know, whatever, we disagree about this, okay, and this is gonna be the way it is. That's all.
Yeah.
So. If you're interested in doing something like this, like I'd want to tailor it though more to town than some of these things. Okay,
I have another issue, yes, short, Shauna Stevenson from, what's called Community Housing Planner from Tompkins County. Is asking whether we had passed a resolution to authorize them, the Community Housing Development Fund, to disperse the $50,000 to support the Free Road apartment
for the
development
INHS.
for the NHS.
Okay.
And I can't remember whether we have done it or not at the moment.
Yeah, so in 2024 it was discussed here, but we didn't do a formal resolution.
So maybe next week then we should do it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Do we have the, it's a similar resolution to the one that we used for the second one.
Yeah, it was the same, yeah.
I think we're waiting for something. We'll do it.
But did the county fund already do their resolution to? The county, like the,
The community housing
Yeah,
development fund
yeah,
made a
yeah.
resolution in order to
Yeah.
disperse the fund.
okay. All right, well, thanks. All right, unless there's something else someone has,
Executive session to just talk about this in our phone call.
what is that?
It's the phone call that we had with Nate last week.
Um. If you'd want, I mean, we
I mean, just to
can,
give an update to these two or.
sure. Yeah, when we do that, I guess we do that, but we're not gonna take any kind of action, no. What?
But it is important to be in the same page.
Litigation, like patent litigation that's against the town, discuss the attorney's advice that we had received on it. So we'll just take a quick minute, I guess. We're gonna. Well, we weren't gonna be taking any action, we're just gonna explain. Just talk about that complaint. Yep, so I'm gonna just pause the recording. So we're gonna enter executive session now and. I'll just pause it and then start out. All right, see you.
So yeah, we're gonna
So meetings adjourned.
Yeah, David.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah.